The ending of Honkai Part 1 is coming to an end soon, unfortunately. And it's made me really want to go back and reflect on the journey we've had so far in Honkai. Anyone who's a Honkai captain knows the feeling right now, if they've seen the new graduation trip animation, or, well, the trailer for it. I'm going to be doing a reaction, or more specifically, 2 reactions to that animated short. I'm going to watch it once when it comes out to avoid spoilers, and so I can appreciate the animation, the music, all that. And I'm going to watch it a second time once I've played through the story and have the full grasp of the context, where we're going to do a more thorough breakdown. So the first one's going to be more so about my reaction in terms of emotion, and then my second time watching it on stream is probably going to be more of an analytical breakdown looking at the details of the story. So I'm probably going to release a community post once I do the second reaction. The first one's going to be coming this Friday though, or Saturday, since that's when the short releases. So stay tuned for that. But in preparation, I'm going to be doing 3 days straight of Honkai content, and we're going to start with ranking all the characters. Now, as Kiana said in the animated trailer, when a story is about to come to an end, we'll always think of its beginning. So I wanted to go back to the beginning and look at every single character we've met in Honkai thus far, and list them all, so that I can see who is my favorite and whatnot. I wanna reflect on that. Anyways, I think we should just get started. Also, I have a Who tier because some of these characters are from the manga, and I haven't read the manga in a while. So if I don't remember a character, it's probably from Durandal's Pocket Universe, because there's a lot of characters there that I don't remember. But anyways, let's start it. Where you got Teresa Apocalypse, B tier. She's a good character. I like her, but unfortunately, she does not get very much spotlight in the more recent chapters and has been kind of sidelined ever since chapter like 8. So I can only really put her at B tier, but she does get more development in the manga, but still, it's also early development. And Shariak, I'm gonna put her in C tier. I don't know. Before she turns, spoilers by the way. If you haven't played Honkai, there's gonna be a lot of spoilers. So Anne Shariak she turns into a Hersher in chapter, what's it? Somewhere between chapter 9, I don't know, sometime after May joins World Serpent. Anyways, we get to see her whole story, and I'm not going to spoil that for you. Go play the chapter, but it's definitely somber, but I definitely don't have very much emotional attachment to her. Next, Aponia. Aponia is another B tier. I'm going to put her under Teresa, though. I think Aponia is a cool character, and I know a decent amount about her backstory and everything, but I just don't personally see her as one of my favorite characters. Like the Flame Chasers, I love all the Flame Chasers, and they're all solid characters in my eyes, but unfortunately we don't spend very much time with them, and we do get to learn a lot about them, but it's just going to be harder for them to compete against the main cast that I've been following for all this time. Now, Fu Hua. I'm going to put Fu Hua here in A tier. Definitely one of my favorite characters when I first started. Chinese martial artist. Chinese martial artist is always a cool aesthetic to me. Let's see. Lilia. I'm going to put Lilia in D tier simply because I like her more than D tier. I'll put Barum C tier. Unfortunately, Lilia just doesn't really do anything in the story. Like, from what I can remember, she gets captured once, and that's about it. She doesn't contribute a lot. Usually Rosa, her sister, gets a lot of the, screen time, and Lily is just kind of there for her to bounce off of. Alright, Haxor Bunny. Unfortunately, I did not play this event, but if I'm so I'm going to put her in the Who tier. Just because it's a little bit unfair if I judge her character from having not played her event. But I think that she's a cool character, and I use her in a lot of my runs. She's in my ice team because I don't have Pardo Fellies built up. Let's see, Carol. I like Carol. I'm gonna put Carol currently at the bottom of B tier. I think she's a fun character. She is a little bit... She hasn't had too much time to develop recently because she's only been in a post-Honkai Odyssey, and we're only on chapter 2 of a post-Honkai Odyssey, but she's a good character. Alright, Owl. I think that's his name, Owl. I'm gonna put Owl in D tier. I didn't really like his character all that much, I'm gonna be honest. Like, he is tightly linked to the Anshariak storyline, and I just found him kind of annoying. I felt bad for him and all, but you know, I didn't like the guy. He just got annoying after a while. His like obsession with On. All right. Anyways, Eden. Eden, I'm gonna put at the top of B tier currently. I think Eden's a cool character. I really like her relationship with Alicia, and I like her demeanor. She's pretty similar to Himeko in some aspects, where she's more so like the wise older sister type or mother type, and she's also a raging drunkard, and she's also rich as hell. So I'm gonna put her up there in B tier. Einstein. I don't know. Einstein, I'm gonna put her in C tier as well. Einstein doesn't get too much focus outside the manga. You get to see a little bit of her in the manga, but you know, she's just kind of like the science character in the story who's there to explain stuff. But I like her. I like her. She's fun. And her interaction, she works really well with Tesla. And in the meantime, I might as well rank Tesla as well. I think I like Tesla a little bit less than Einstein, just because I don't know, in their like comedy duo, Einstein is kind of like the straight man, where Tesla is spouting all sorts of stuff. And it's also just funny to me that two of the most influential scientists in real life got turned into these like two characters, and they're also like really old. All right, so Alicia, I'm putting in S tier. I think that Alicia is a very simple character, but is just really easy to like. Like, I don't know. She's just so positive. She's super happy all the time. She always gives people the benefit of the doubt. And if you've played through chapter 31, you see her and she's like traveling the world as a child, and she gets like basically scammed by this one girl, and she's just like, "Oh, I got scammed. I have more candy. You want a piece?" And then that just is like, oh my gosh, this person can see the best in literally anybody. That is incredibly kind of her. I don't know. I really like Alicia. I think that she's just a perfect example of innocence and just pure kindness in the story. And it was really nice to follow her story. And I don't know, I just can't hate her at all. I was definitely skeptical of her when we first got to Elysian Realm, though. She definitely did seem like a villain, and I was on edge. But no, no, she managed to melt that wall down pretty quick. Let's see, Fischl. I'm just gonna put Fischl in the Who tier, just because it doesn't make sense for her to be here since she's not part of the main story at all, or even a side story. She's just a Genshin character. Maybe I'll do a Genshin characters tier list sometime, but this is not her place. Veliona. Ooh, Veliona's cool. I'm gonna put her at the bottom of A tier. I think Veliona is a really cool character. I like her interactions with Sele, and I like how obsessed she is with Sele, and I think it's cute. And she's been around for a while, and she's gotten a lot of development. She's kind of started to open up and help Sele out, sort of become a bit more expressive and, you know, willing to help out. And it's kind of like a tough love older sister to Sele, and she cares a lot, even though she doesn't necessarily say it. Also, Kevin, I'm putting in S tier as well. I think Kevin is such a cool character, and the moment that really solidified the fact that I like this guy a lot is that during the Elysia chapter, we get to learn that Alicia asked Kevin, once you make it to the new once you find another Hersher who is friendly and fights for humanity, find some way to show me, any way to show me. And he talks to he talks to Hersher Sentience, he talks to Kiana, trying to recruit all of them so he can bring them to Elysia. And then once he gets May, he doesn't need to assail any more Hershers. And once he's completed his mission, she just lets May go. And I'm like, damn, dude kept this promise for 50,000 years. And most people these days can't keep a promise for more than 2 days. I don't know, dude. He's a G. He's a good guy. Sakura, I'm gonna put him under Teresa and B tier. I think Sakura's a cool character, and we get to see a lot of her, both versions of her. I don't think that there's there's no previous era, new era versions of her, but I think she's a cool character. Oh, that's enough said. Griseo. Griseo, I think I'm gonna put her in the same tier as like Lilia. Like, she's a nice little younger sister character to the Flame Chasers, and they all take care of her, and it's cute. But on her own, she just doesn't have a lot going on. But that being said, still like her, still think she's a good character. Just not my personal favorite. You can go here. I'll talk about you later. Uh, I don't know. This is that Stigmata Fuhua. I don't even know who that is. I'm gonna be honest. This is another character where they just didn't. This is one of Fuhua's disciples. I don't remember her name, but she appeared during Fuhua's like flashbacks, and I just didn't really know who she was. So I'm going to. I still don't really remember her too well. I remember she showed up for a little while during the Mount Taxion thing as one of the disciples, but I don't know. I just don't think I have enough information about her to make a judgment call. I thought that was Aichan for a second. No, Aichan probably is. Uh, oh, actually, she's not in here. All right, so I don't know who this is, but I'm going to put her. All right. I'm just gonna put her in the Who tier. I don't know who that is. All right, Raven. Ooh, I'm gonna put Raven up here in A tier above Veliona. I think that Raven has been a really cool character. She got introduced during the Arc City, during the Arc City arc, and we see her as an assassin trying to hunt down Kiana, getting to fight May, and we've gotten to see her development, her motivations, her beliefs, her backstory, and I think that it's all made her a very sympathetic character. You really feel for her. Like, she's just this normal person who wants to help people in some ways, but at the same time, she understands that the world is not necessarily a place where you can just be innocent and naive. So it's also hardened her to the point where she has become cold and distant. This isn't. I don't think this one is Cecilia. Is it Cecilia? Yeah, that's Cecilia. Cecilia, I'm gonna put. All right, I'm gonna put Siegfried and Cecilia here. I'm gonna put them both up here in high A tier. I think that both of these two are very cool characters. Cecilia is if you didn't know, I guess, yeah, it's not really a spoiler. Siegfried and Cecilia are original Kiana's parents, and if you've read Second Eruption, you get to see Siegfried and Cecilia's relationship like bloom, and it's a really nice chapter. And you get to see them get torn apart, and it really sucks until you see Siegfried fight to meet her again later, and it's such a good moment. We see that they love each other very much, and we see that they're happy family. Unfortunately, not for long because things went down, people died, and if you've read Second Eruption, you know. Hersher of Sentience, I'm gonna put. Oh, I love Hersher of Sentience. Senti is funny. I'm gonna put Senti right under Fuhua. Senti in the recent chapters has definitely grown on me a lot more because she did not have too big of a part in the story since chapter 21 or 22, 23. Whichever one Shattered Samsara was. She hasn't had like the spotlight on her since then. But now that she got some new spotlight on her in the newest chapters, she is like just that person who has a skill set, who's just there and is just reluctant to help out, but secretly does care about the cause. I like her. She's very funny. She's a very fun character. She's kind of like the Deadpool of Honkai. Just carefree, breaks the fourth wall a bunch. It's a good character. Another character related to Fuhua. I think this is that woman who's inside of the sword in one of the chronicles, but I don't remember enough about her to make a call. Oh, Cocolia. Man, I did not. All right. The thing is, characters who are in D tier, I don't necessarily think are bad characters. I just don't like them personally, and I think Cocolia is a jerk. Man, running experiments on your orphans, I'm like, get out of here. Get out of here. I know that they still respect you as their mother, but get out of here. The Fuxies. I'm gonna put the Fuxies here at the bottom. I think that they're fine. I don't have much to say about them though. I think that this is Sue. Yeah, that's Sue, I'm pretty sure. Sue I'm gonna put here in B tier above Aponia and Sakura and Teresa. I think that Sue is a cool character. Not much else to say. I like him. He's a cool character. His friendship with Kevin is nice. He's kind of like the older brother to everybody in the Flame Chasers. You know, very rational, very wise, and you get to see him during the Sumeru arc with Durandal. That's pretty cool. All right, Li Su Shang. Li Su Shang, I'm gonna put at the bottom of B tier. I think she's a I think like I said, another cool character. We get to see her fight Fu Hua in chapter 27, I think. Yeah, during the Kolstein arc, basically. She's fighting Fu Hua. We get to see their relationship a little bit, and then we get to see her develop. And she's a pretty relatable character. Just reminds me of a lot of people in real life. Likes to play video games, drink boba, go shopping. You know, just a very normal person. Let's see, Calpus. Calpus is another cool character. I'm gonna put him over here in the B tier as well. I think I like him a little bit less than Sakura, but a little bit more than Aponia. I think that Calpus' strong personality was a really interesting contrast to everybody else in the Elysian Realm, who was more either reserved or just like passive aggressive, where Calpus is just like, burn, die, I hate you. And I'm like, you know, it's a good contrast. Klein is fine. Another C tier character. C tier is just where like the characters who are very inoffensive are, where I don't really have many strong feelings about them. Klein is fine. I'm gonna put her under Griseo though. So Klein is cool. It's kind of like Mobius's lab assistant. On that note, I'm gonna put Mobius. I think Mobius is a really cool character, so I'm gonna put her. Another really cool character. I noticed that I've been saying cool character a lot, but I don't know how to describe it. These characters are all very cool. Mobius, I'm going to put a high B tier because I like how she is presented as like a mad scientist. Not necessarily a bad person, but just someone who's become so obsessed with her experiments that she just disregards a lot of people and just conducts experiments otherwise. I don't know. She doesn't get that much focus in the later chapters of the Elysian Realm, though. She gets a lot of focus early on when you meet her at first, but she doesn't get too much development outside of that. Also, in the like little Honkai animated short in the anime for the Flame Chasers, she was funny in there, so I'm gonna give her that. Cosma, I'm gonna put Cosma under Griseo here. I just think that they are pretty equally, just not really. Cosmo's cool again, like every other Honkai character. It's just that he doesn't get very much focus. I think out of all the Flame Chasers, he might get the least focus. I'm gonna be honest. Lyle. Oh, I think Lyle's funny. I'm gonna put Lyle over here next to Carol, above Carol though. Just like Carol, hasn't had much time to develop, only been in one chapter post Honkai Odyssey. But his relationship with the main character is funny, and their interactions make me smile, so I'll give her that. I'm assuming that they put, I don't know, did they put Bronya and Silverwing differently? No, they just gave me Silverwing Bronya to deal with all the Bronyas. I'm gonna move them down here as well, and I'll talk about them later. Also, Yay Cosme, unfortunately, like I said, didn't get to play that event. I wish I did. I'll play it next time it comes around. Rosalia. I'm a bit biased here. I think Rosalia is A tier. Simply because she's my first S tier ever, and I like her eccentric personality, where she's like imagining all these scenarios of her and her sister becoming famous and everything. And I think that her alternate story as Delta is heartbreaking and really powerful. So I'm gonna put her up here in A tier. Auto Apocalypse. Auto Apocalypse. Alright, I'm gonna put him at the bottom of D tier in terms of how much I like him. I think Auto Apocalypse is the biggest bastard in Honkai. This guy is an absolute jerk. He kills so many people directly and indirectly. He harms everybody. He's the reason why basically everything bad happens in the Honkai story. But at the same time, he's a very well-written villain, and I gotta respect the guy on some level for sticking to his guns for 500 years. I think that he is an amazing villain, but in terms of how much I like him, he's definitely at the bottom of D tier. Man, this guy is a jerk. This guy's an absolute jerk. Alright. Anyways, Pardo Fellies. Pardo, I'm gonna put Pardo up here. I started to really like her after that one scene of her where she is trying to help out May by dealing with something in the Elysian realm. They're fighting the Hersher corruption, and they need to revive Alicia. And there is one scene where Pardo is just like lamenting that she was never meant for this kind of like major battle. She should have been some cat just doing naps all day. But she's in the end, she's willing to go the extra mile to protect her home and her friends. And I think that that was very admirable. And I definitely can understand that, where it's like you're not, even if you don't think you're meant for bigger things, when the time comes, if you have the strength to do it, that's all that ultimately matters. It doesn't matter whether or not you're predestined to do something big. All that matters is that if something big were to happen, that you're able to stand up and protect what you care about. And I really respect Pardo for that. So I'm going to put her, actually, now that I've been talking her up, I'm going to put her here at the top of B tier. She's one of my favorite flame chasers, if not my favorite. Actually, no, Alicia's my favorite flame chaser, but she's definitely one of the top 3 favorites, or top 4 maybe. Yai Sakura. Oh, okay, so this is current era Sakura. So if I'm talking current era Sakura, I'm probably gonna put her. Current era Sakura is cool. I'm gonna put her at the top of C tier though. She just doesn't get much development outside of the open world and the animes. But previous era Sakura, I'm gonna put back up here. Previous era Sakura, I think was really cool. Like another like wise older sister type, and her relationship with Calpus is interesting. And when she is in the Elysian realm, another spoiler, she's like framed as the murderer, and Calpus wants to defend her, and she also has to prove herself that she's not the She also has to prove herself that she's not the murderer. It's another good character arc. Sirin, okay, Sirin. Oh man, I do like Siren, I gotta admit. I'm gonna put her all the way up here under Cecilia. They can all be together. Unfortunately, they can never be like that in the actual story. But yeah, Siren is such a tragic villain. On one hand, she kills a lot of people in her like rage, and she is a bit of a child, but I don't know. When you're a child who has your family ripped away from you and basically put through torture to try to attain some level to awaken a Hersher, it's such a terrible thing that happens, and I cannot blame her at all for wanting to take out that anger on humanity. And seeing her like reconnect with humanity in some small way thanks to Cecilia, opening up the possibility for her to love again, causing the split between both of the Hersher of the Void and Kiana Kaslana the clone, where her personality splits in half. We see that Cecilia fostered within her the ability to love again. And we see that in Kiana. And ultimately, that's one reason why we have Kiana Kaslana. But yeah, Siren, I definitely have to put up there in A tier. Colin. I'm going to put Colin a little bit above Yae Sakura. She's another cool character. She gets development in the manga, doesn't get much development outside, and she hasn't been relevant in a long time. So it's just been a long time since I've really cared about her. Sora. Sora is another character that's going in C tier. We get to see her relationship with Raven, and it's a cute relationship. It's nice. It's just not super important, but she's a nice character. She's very innocent. She's very kind still, and she's had a lot taken away from her, and she's still a nice kid. So I like her. She's cool. Rita Rosewise. Okay, Rita. I think Rita is a badass, so I'm gonna put her all the way up here in A tier. I like Rita a lot. She is a cool, like, undercover operative, but also has her own moral compass, as she shows that she has loyalty to Durandal, and later she has loyalty to Durandal before she does to Schicksal. And we see during the Arc City arc, she is willing to pay back Kiana's favor for saving her, even though at the time, since Rita was working for Schicksal and Kiana was a rogue Hersher, they were enemies. But, you know, she managed to still show that bit of kindness to Kiana when she saved her life. Ooh, Jue Kongming. Oh man. Oh, this is an S tier. Man, Kongming's story. If you guys haven't played through man, The Day You Vanished with the Stars, that made me so emotional. I cried so hard. And ironically, that was part of the point. But jeez, dude. The line from Tesla Zero during her story event, where it was like, go ahead and cry. Cry a lot. It's better than, it saves you from the pain of being numb. And I'm like, damn, dude. That's an important message for people these days. Like, I'm not the type to cry very often in real life, unless something like absolutely terrible happens to one of my family members or something like that. But when I'm behind closed doors and I'm, experiencing a work of fiction, I'm definitely much more open to be, sentimental and, you know, I'm more emotionally open when I'm experiencing a story because since it's not real life, it doesn't really matter that much if I cry, and it's a good environment to like just let it out. And it's always been cathartic for me to be able to cry to media, so which is one reason why I really like Honkai. Yeah, so I may not cry a lot in real life, but I let myself be emotionally vulnerable when it comes to fiction because I'm in my own space and I can do what I want. Bernaris. Bernaris is another interesting character. I'm gonna put her at the bottom of B tier. Bernaris doesn't get very much development, at least in this form. She appears in the manga, and she is Siren's servant, and another kid that died during those same projects that Siren was being tested under. But yeah, she's a tragic character, and we get to see her loyalty to Siren, and I think it's a nice little thing. Higoku Maru. Higoku Maru can go above these two. I think that she's just another character that doesn't have much development. I'm gonna move you back here. We'll talk about you later. Alright, in the meantime, Sele. Sele can go up here. I don't know. I have a thing for just like characters who are innocent and bubbly and friendly to everybody in very bad situations. And she's just very compassionate, very nice to everybody she meets, very understanding. She's kind of like Alicia in that way, where not to the same extreme, but she is definitely very positive, and she holds herself in low self-esteem as a coward, but we get to see her overcome that later on, and we get to see her grow into a much more independent person who is there to support her friends, and it's a good character arc. Jackal. Man, Jackal is a jerk as well. I'm gonna put her down here in D tier. She's a member of World Serpent, does experiments on Kiana later, and she doesn't really become. She's not really plot relevant for a while, so I'm just like, whatever. Timido cute. Timido. I'll put Timido down here at the in mid S tier, in C tier. I mean. She's a fine character, but she just doesn't talk very much. She's mostly just shy, and that's the majority of her character currently. Okay, I'm assuming that this is Azura Imperia Fuhua when she's a Celestial, and this is Student Fuhua, like the one that we're knowing now. I'm actually gonna put her up here, and I'm just gonna talk about Azura Imperia separately. Azura Imperia, so this is the phase where Fuhua is kind of like just a celestial looking over Shenja in the current era. And she's a very distant character, but we know why. Since she has lost so many people, she wants to isolate herself. And I'm gonna put her over here in B tier, because if you've read her manga, it definitely develops her Azura Imperia years a lot better than the game does. Actually, no, the game does well, but I think that it just goes more in depth, showing her like day-to-day life and her interactions with people and her motivations. Personally. Villy V. Villy V. I'm gonna put her underneath Cosma. Villy V is a character that exists, but I just don't have a lot of emotional attachment to her. Actually, I'm gonna put her. No, Cosma in the recent Flame Chasers anime was pretty funny. I liked him a lot, so I'm gonna keep him there. Villy V though, Villy V is a interesting character, but unfortunately doesn't get a ton of spotlight on her. We only, and plus with their split personalities thing, we don't really get to see a lot of each one. So we get to see a bunch of like mini VLVs basically, but we don't get to like spend a lot of time for. Oh, this is hmm. Okay, I think this is the original Welt Joyce. Welt Joyce. I'm gonna combine Welt Joyce and Welt Yang. So if you didn't know, Welt is a title passed on. So this is the original first Herrscher that fought for humanity. And I thought his story was cool. I'm gonna put him at the bottom of B tier. And I would put Welt. I don't think he's on this list, unfortunately. Let's see. Let's just take this person. Pretend that this person here is Welt Yang. I think Welt Yang is such a cool character. He is very pivotal to the plot of Honkai. I'm going to put him all the way up in A tier. The time where he takes a stand against the Herrscher of the Void in the Second Eruption manga was really cool. So just remember, this is Welt Yang, not this weird character that appears in one Chronicle and never again. Alright, Wendy. Wendy is a solid D tier as well. Very, in my opinion, very underdeveloped character. I don't know. I think she's kind of similar to Siren in a case where she's like, part of the reason why she's a Herrscher who hates humanity is because she wasn't treated well by humanity, but also she just doesn't get any development, so she's a pretty weak character compared to the rest of the Honkai cast. Alright, now we're down to 5 really big ones. And we're gonna see a lot of S tiers from here. So Himiko, S tier. You're gonna see in a video later, but I explained why I like Himiko. To cut it short, basically, she is like the ultimate manifestation of what I believe the epitome of a teacher should be in media or in anything. Obviously, I don't expect any teachers in real life to hold up to the same standard because that's asking a lot of somebody. But like, if you have a mentor that really cares about you to this point, I think that's the perfect mentor. And it shows a lot. It shows a lot, and I think that she deserves to be up there in S tier thanks to it. Let's see. Durandal, nowadays, I'm gonna put her at the bottom of S tier. Just because ever since, spoiler alert again, skip like 30 seconds if you don't want to be spoiled on this plot point from the Kolstein arc. She is the real Kiana, quote unquote, who lost her memory. And I think that her character arc as of late has been really cool, where she's been able to get back together with her family, and how she's accepted that her name doesn't mean anything to her anymore, and that she is just beyond to Antega at this point, Antegina, but still considers herself part of the family with Siegfried and Cecilia and her clone Kiana. But definitely, I do think Durandal is a strong character now, because now she has a lot more development, a lot more scenes with all the other characters getting to interact. And I think that it's done wonders for a character, so I'm really attached to her character now. Let's see. Now we've got the main trio. I'm going to save Mei and Kiana for last. Bronya is another S tier. Bronya, the main trio is very easily... I'm just going to say this now. They're all S tiers. Bronya is probably just the weakest out of the main trio, just because she has the least focus on her. But that doesn't take away from the fact that she has developed so much as a character, starting off as this cold, uncaring child assassin, to like this big sister figure for Sealy, to kind of this to another sister in Kiana, where she's just kind of busting Kiana's ass over a bunch of small stuff, but really does care. And we get to see them interact a lot during Cooking with Valkyries and through the early chapters. And it's just a really nice relationship that they have. And Bronya, we get to see slowly warm up and show more emotion, because she was physically stripped of the ability to show emotion during Azure Waters. By the way, go read Azure Waters. That is such a sad comic, man. That is such a sad manga. And yeah, in the most recent, she's the Herrscher of Truth. And she has developed a lot. And she's become very strong in her own right. And I don't know. It's just a good character. Very good, very strong arc. And we get to see her in a post-Honkai Odyssey as well. Now, Mei. I'm going to put Mei up here at number 3 in the S tier currently. Mei is Kiana's quote-unquote best friend. Anybody who's plays Honkai knows what I mean by that. Anyways, yeah, so their relationship is a central point throughout the entire story and drives a lot of the plot. So we get to see these two and when they first meet and when they and their backstory, why they care so much about each other, what they mean to each other, what they've done for each other. And I'm not gonna I'm gonna cut this short because if I had to explain this, I'd be here all day. Basically, Mei also develops a lot. She becomes a lot stronger as a person, gains her confidence, gains meaning through meeting Kiana. And I think that her character arc is easily one of the strongest in the entire game and one of the strongest that I've seen in any form of media ever. And as much as I love all of these characters, especially these S tiers, this is not even a debate for me. There's absolutely zero doubt in my mind. Kiana Kaslana is my #1 favorite character in Honkai and my #1 favorite character in any form of media I've ever consumed ever. Like, it's not even close. For me, she's just been an inspiration to me from a storytelling standpoint, and it's very easy to relate to her story in a very abstract sense. And I'm gonna go over this more in when I'm talking about Everlasting Flames during my Honkai animated shorts video. But Kiana Kaslana, my #1 favorite character in fiction. If you ever see me on the street, I'm most likely wearing some piece of Kiana Honkai merch, whether it be a bracelet, a necklace, a sweater, a full-on jacket, a t-shirt, a pair of pants. I own a pair of pants that are themed after her character. So, yeah, it's not really a debate. And I've also triple S'd her Hersher finality form. And I don't want to talk about that. Anyways, yeah, so this is my top list. I'd definitely say, yeah, these top 8 up here, definitely, yeah, they're definitely in a good order, fine, yeah. I've only recently come to appreciate Kevin as a villain this much. I just think that he is a very solid character, has a very strong sense of what he believes in. And after the Flame Chasers arc and after the most recent chapters, I can really sympathize with the guy. And I don't know, he's just a great character. But yeah, no, definitely these top 3, Kiana, Alicia, Himeko, definitely left the biggest impression on me. And then all the rest of these characters have all worked together to build a story that I'm going to remember into the later years of my life. Like on my deathbed, this is probably going to flash through my head. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. Like I said, I'm going to be making 3 Honkai videos in a row before I make that reaction video to the new animated short. So stay tuned for those. This is #1 of 3. So another one that's coming up is the animated short video, where I rank all the animated shorts. So look forward to that. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. I know this was a long one, but I definitely went more in depth about a lot of these characters. And take care, everybody. Bye!